I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott.
And this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Red Mist Podcast, Season 2, Episode 43. The 1970 Petty Enterprises Plymouth Superbird, 426 cubic inches. That's a lot of horsepower, Nate.
Yeah, that's a lot. And
At
that's a good car.
Just to let you know, at the proving grounds in Arizona for Chrysler in 1970. In 1969 and 70, this thing hit between 240 and 250 miles an hour.
Oh,
and now think about it. The tires, probably racing tires, but they're on steel rims.
So if that thing blows, you're going for one hell of a ride.
And you got a 23-inch tall wing on the back of the car.
Yeah.
Oh,
premium downforce.
Oh,
right,
man.
Sean?
It was clearly the glory days of NASCAR. The Dodge Char. Oh, my God. Anyways, I loved it. Loved that time. Big engines, no pit lane, speed limits. Oh, fantastic. Guys smoking in the pits, fueling the cars.
Yeah, while filling the car. Yeah.
That's even better. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, on tonight's episode, thank God, NASCAR comes to an end.
What do you mean, thank God?
Oh. Our long nightmare has ended.
Christian's long nightmare.
It's getting to be my long nightmare.
It's not a nightmare for me because
God.
I don't pay attention to it.
Anyways.
Fair.
I tune in when I want and I turn it off whenever I want.
No,
I kind of did the same to F1 this weekend.
Tonight we'll cover... What was this race called?
Championship.
Is that it? They call it the championship race?
The NASCAR championship race.
Wow.
Yeah, finale.
Jesus. Can't even get a sponsor for that. Holy hell.
Technically, if we're speaking, it's 4, right? Because if we're going by the Cup Series, well, it's Geico, Coca-Cola, right? And then Xfinity.
Anyways, all right.
Anyway, there's another one. But
So
I can't tell you.
We'll discuss it. It actually was a good race.
It was a good
race. I don't like that track.
For a championship, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. It should be back. Homestead. Yeah.
Homestead.
What about Martinsville?
No, Sean. Oh, my God.
Martinsville should be the race before.
The title for the race is NASCAR Cup Series Championship.
Wow, that's original.
So,
what was it in cars? What do they call that?
The Piston Cup.
The Piston Cup. Yeah, that's what it should be called.
Oh, Sean, stop.
What?
It's not. No.
Anyways, all right, we'll talk that. Then we'll talk Gran Primo de Brasil, Sao Paulo, e Brasil. It's like I wish I had that stuff from Senna. Sorry.
Ayrton Senna.
Will we get copyrighted on that?
No, you said Brazil. You didn't say Sao Paulo.
No. But like in the movie, in the Senna movie, e Brasil.
No,
because the guys on
you're like
no, because the guys on Box and Neutrals used it, and I was dying. It was pretty funny.
If someone bothers to claim us for copyright,
all right, come after us.
That's a good thing.
We'll have our lawyers.
We're on notice.
We'll have our lawyer. What are you talking about?
Oh, you mean how lucrative we are with this podcast?
We're the 25th great best IndyCar podcast.
Are we?
Well,
I haven't checked that list in months.
I know. Anyways,
I haven't got updates either.
Can't hear you because you're not talking into the mic.
No, I'm not.
Anyways, all right, that's good. Good podcasting there.
I mean, also, Sean, it's not like we're like copycatting or copywriting F1 or anything, right?
No, we don't want to go down that road.
So we're good.
Let's see. What else? Oh, we'll talk WEC finale
Yes.
Bye GTLM. No, that to me is a I don't even want to get into it. Anyways, we'll talk about that. That was an eventful race, but good race.
History made.
Well. It was entertaining though. The engineers were entertaining on the radio, so that was pretty cool. Especially the Ferrari guys. I think Ferrari needs to like swap like their entire WEC program and Formula One program.
No, really?
I know, because it's like I like the WEC program, the Formula One program. Actually, it's good to be a circus.
Or we just end up with Reese. Yeah.
What? No. You don't want to tarnish the image like that.
No.
So we'll talk WEC. We'll also talk the Walter Hayes Trophy. And people in podcast land are like wondering what that is. Anyways, when we get to it, we'll tell you. I think it's fantastic. It's a culmination of a lot of stuff over the end of the season. And then we'll have news and notes. Some exciting stuff breaking today.
Yeah, especially
on
today.
the IMSA front. Whoa.
Right?
Woof.
So exciting stuff ahead.
Yeah, Christian was having a mind meld there.
So,
He was trying to figure that out. It's all right.
It begins with Wayne and ends in Taylor.
All right, let's go to the duel in the desert.
Sean, it's not the worst thing in the world.
The track. Wait a minute. The final or the track?
Well,
I don't think it's a bad track.
Wait, what? If we want to, let's go into talking about track limits.
No,
there's no track limits here.
Well, obviously there wasn't, because I didn't realize that you could cut off like half the underneath the white line and
dog leg.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah, until you cross the start-finish line and start or restart, you just have go wherever.
What is that?
I don't mind the track.
No, I hate the track.
I don't think it's a good.
Oh, it's not worthy of the final.
Yeah, finale.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It should be at Homestead.
I mean, also, I do miss the idea of using the actual dog leg. The dog leg's not even a dog leg anymore.
Well, they redid the track. I mean, they reconfigured it. It's all backwards now.
Yeah.
Well, it's not backwards. They flipped it.
They only did they flip
the old back stretch is the front stretch, and then the old front stretch is the back stretch now.
Yeah.
That's why they can cut the dog leg. It's just dumb. Anyways,
I'm
not talking that. I'm just saying the configuration of the track is dumb. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Like, what I think Miami would be good for the final, but
I mean, has been for years, and I would even say you almost ruin the finish of a race now. Because,
yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite finishes was in the original
when there was no playoffs.
Well, no. There was still the chase or something.
Chase.
The chase. Well, you mean when they actually raced for the season-long points title? Yes. Anyways,
kind of, sort of.
All right, let's move on. Let's get to the race.
No. Hang on.
Oh God.
This is it, because there was a really good finish between Kevin Harvick and Carl Edwards, where they.
What year is this?
Maybe 2017.
Oh,
18.
good God. Anyways, pre-podcast. All right, let's go. Let's get to 2020. Let's get to 2023 before I feel like I'm Doc Brown and sending my car off into the Back to the Future, as he did the other day on November 5th.
2 days ago. So
that's right.
Anyway,
all right.
So anyway, speaking of Kevin Harvick, this was his last race.
Let's all shed a tear.
I mean, you like Kevin Harvick. I know you do, especially when Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski got into it at Texas. Come on, you're not a Harvick fan there?
Oh, no, I'm fine. It's just, Kevin hung it up. I mean,
yeah. And you know who's the king of Phoenix?
No, who, Nate?
Kevin Harvick.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me. Nate, are you? Did you send Bad Brad and his bride some new kid clothes?
He's a dad again, right? With a son. So
yeah.
Cool stuff there. Hey, I think that's his third kid. If
well,
I remember correctly. So that's pretty cool.
yeah.
But not the
Congrats,
main highlight
Brad.
of my weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, congrats.
Congrats,
so
Brad.
that's cool.
All right. Let's talk the race.
Anyway, so Sean, there are 4 championship drivers that could win this championship.
Yes.
One, Kyle Larson,
Mm-hmm.
which I would say was maybe the favorite going in,
No.
or a driver that could really have a good chance.
I would have said the favorite going in.
finishing.
I was going to say the favorite going in was Byron, just because he's on a hot streak.
I mean, you could argue that with Blaney because he won at Martinsville. So
Yeah,
if
but
anything,
that's
momentum
he
was
won
on
the
his side.
but he won the last race to get in. That was do or die. I mean, that was
Right.
like every other guy.
Well,
that
against
was in-
Hamlin. I mean, it
I
was
know,
him
but
and
it
Hamlin.
it was do or die against every other guy that was not in yet. I think Byron was the odds-on favorite.
Interesting. And then Christopher Bell
Right.
Getting in by winning one of the rounds.
Yep,
So
deservingly.
you have those 4 drivers
Mhm.
fighting for the championship, and I would even say Willie Byron, like you mentioned, maybe the favorite. I would say got first blood by winning pole,
Yes, he did. Yep.
and he would go on to win stage 1. And I'll tell you, Kevin Harvick was looking strong. He was in the top 5 for a lot of the race. And someone that was starting to creep up was the only Ross Chastain.
That's true.
See what I did there, Sean?
Yeah.
See what I did there, Sean?
Yeah, because it wasn't bad, Brad. Let's put it that way.
Did
And it
take you
was.
all-
Well,
Did it take you all day to put that together?
Put that all day together, Nate. Right. Now, at what point? Stage 2 was when Bell hit trouble.
Yes.
Well,
And so
that kind of sucked. He lost his brakes.
well, he did like a Ross Chastain
Oof.
impersonation, didn't he?
He
Going
went
around
into
that wall.
the corner and the right front brake rotor exploded. Oof.
Yeah, called by Steve Letarte, right?
Exploding along with Jeff Burton. Oh my God. I mean,
It's okay. It's just one last race with them, Sean.
I know, but
And
Bell did a nice. I mean, Bell kept it into the wall, which was he rode the wall basically to slow the car down.
right, and it would
You
have been
know.
less.
But
of an
unfortunately,
impact
that ruined his. He was out at that point.
Oh yeah, at that point
Yeah.
it was down to three
Down
drivers,
to three.
200 cars, and
Down
a
to
Penske
3.
car.
Now Byron looked dominant at this point.
Yes, but you would also notice that he was starting to slip, fall
yes,
behind
Yep.
the grid, because over the course of some pit stops,
he fell back,
Kyle Larson would even get ahead of him.
and that was.
so now you
I
kinda
think
have
Larson's crew put on some pretty good pit stops,
Great pit stops.
Yep.
They did their job.
as well
And it was-
as Blaney's team.
Well, they knew it was getting down to the
Yeah,
nitty gritty, and I'll tell you, I think it was with like 30, maybe 20 laps to go. Like seriously, the end of the race, it was between Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson. They were very clean for the transfer for the championship.
right. But what was going on out in front?
Mr. Worldwide
That's right,
was
Mr.
out-
Watermelon,
out front.
Team
was
Trackhouse.
out front. Yep. They were hitting their marks.
They
just
were.
in time.
Yep.
See
Boom.
what I did there? Oh, just the
Boom.
marks joke.
Boom.
Oh man, we're on it.
Boom.
We're on it.
Anyways,
Anyway, so Ryan Blaney puts on an impressive pass on the outside.
He
of
did.
Kyle Larson.
yes, he did.
To
Yep.
get into second spot,
Yep.
and really was driving away from Kyle Larson.
Then it stabilized.
It did, but even before then, there were some moments where Ryan Blaney was like kind of hip check or pushing
Yeah.
Ross Chastain to hurry up. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, look, you got to go. You might be losing time.
Right. Well,
And
you know what?
Did you see the moment where he flipped him off in the car? NBC caught it just in time.
What would have happened?
What?
What would have happened? Rick Allen lose his mind if that happened?
No, it was more like Dale Jr., Jeff Burton kind of
Yeah.
having a little chuckle, but
I thought it was pretty funny.
I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was too. But then, Chastain pulled away. Now, when we got to 10 to go, I was waiting for the. I was waiting
caution.
for it. Yes,
it was
Yes,
it was inevitable. I was waiting on it.
Yep. As Christian says, the script.
The script. But guess what, Sean? It never came out.
Never came out. They must have been up against the clock to get to 7.
Yeah,
it did end at a decent time for them.
And it gave him time, like do the interviews and stuff. So, the only thing I didn't. So congrats to Chastain for winning. That's a great way to finish the season for Trackhouse. It's impressive. This is their first full season, or second season.
I think it's second.
They're putting themselves out there now.
Well, right. You have 3 wins in the season. 2 with Ross Chastain and 1 with SVG.
Right. Well, and Suarez knocked on the door a couple times.
He has. And in different tracks, too.
Wasn't Chastain in
nice
the playoffs?
on his portfolio.
Wasn't Chastain in the playoffs as well? Or not
he
this
was.
season?
He was.
Because he won at Nashville.
He was.
But
he dropped in the first round, unfortunately.
Yeah. But, I mean,
it was impressive.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, I thought it was good for the team.
He's in the playoffs.
I'm looking forward to, them next year. I think they're moving forward. I just like what they bring to the paddock and stuff. So, do they call it the paddock or they call it the garage in NASCAR?
I mean, I would call it the paddock, but
I think they call it the garage area. Yeah. All right. The only thing I didn't like at the end of the race was because normally in NASCAR script writing, the winner of the championship wins the last race.
I mean, as the trend has been.
Right.
For the
Except
last couple
this
of
year,
years.
it didn't happen. And I don't think they knew what to do.
No.
So they kind of short-shifted Chastain because they went running over the Blaney, Now, I'll be honest with you. Blaney finished second. I know he's the champion. You know what? Go to the winner, get that stuff out of the way, and then spend all day talking to, everyone on the championship team. I do have another. Nate, I'm going to let you have your rant because I know you want to, but I do have a rant.
Tell me.
Joey Logano needed to show his face everywhere after the race.
Everywhere. Yeah, and even on the cool down lap, he was like kind of with Blaney.
Yeah, he was like up against Blaney, and he's like trying to go down the front straight, and it's like Blaney just wanted. I think it would have been awesome if Blaney just flicked him into the wall, but like he's getting he has to get his mug on TV every 5 minutes, and then they get to the championship, stand, and here he comes strutting out. And it's like, no one invited you. Go away. Just go away. And then they go to Harvick after, they do this stuff. So I think they're waiting to go to Chastain. They go over to Harvick, which is the other big story. Talking to him, and there he is. He's got his mug there. I mean, it's like, he's standing around with a goofy Coke bottle and his dumb look. And it's like, get him out of here. All right, that's my rant. Nate,
tell me how you really feel, Sean.
Oh, man. God, Joey Logano, please. Enough.
Yeah. Well,
anyways.
Tom's not there, right?
So, who?
Tom?
Oh, God. No, it doesn't matter. They should, anyways, I can't believe I can't believe Penske has him on the team. Anyways.
Anyway.
I'm going to let you have your rant, Nate.
So my whole rant, and it began Friday, in which I was like kind of grossed out with. It was the Steve show at the press box where, dude, these I'm gonna be really nice. These clowns think that this is the greatest show on earth, the most competitive.
Yes.
Oh my God. Come on. Did these guys not watch the whole IndyCar schedule? I mean, what are you trying to put out there? Because look. Steve O'Donnell, Steve Phelps, okay? These two people think that this playoff product is it. And I'll tell you what, there's a few hints where they need to maybe take a step backwards. One being that, okay, we're going from the Bristol dirt race to the asphalt back again, finally. But you need to get rid of these playoffs. You need to get rid of these playoffs because look what's happening. Yes, we have a good championship Sunday, an all right Xfinity race, but you know what the cherry on top was this weekend? The prologue to everything, the truck race. It was disastrous. You can go yourselves if you call that a championship race. I'm sorry. It has to be said.
Put a time mark on that? You got a timestamp on that?
Yeah.
No, but listen. Are you joking? Sean, there was 10, maybe 20. I'm not even exaggerating. Overtime restarts to figure this chicken poop out. Oh my God. And there was like this little cute drama between Corey Heim and Carson Hocevar, which I don't know. I mean, you call it what you want, but it's just crap at the end of the day. I am glad that Ben Rhodes at least took it.
Yeah.
Because, there's, someone that's won a championship before, and there's no asshattery from him.
Well, no, not on the track, but post.
Well, he did that this first time he won it too. So it's consistent. I'll give him that. So, I mean,
it was entertaining. I got to admit that.
Yeah, no, he was having a good time, man. Yep. So he was all in on that.
Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, all good. I mean, rant over, basically. But also, a quick congrats to Cole Custer as well. Tony Stewart getting a championship, right? Gene Haas, right? So that's cool.
Yeah.
And Kevin Harvick, again, a nice farewell. I mean, if there was ever a track to have a Kevin Harvick farewell, it would be Phoenix. Because he is the king of Phoenix.
Or Atlanta.
I mean, that too, where he got his first win. But you want to hear a crazy, crazy, crazy stat? The first race he started in the Cup Series was at Rockingham. Jeff Gordon in the 24 car got pole position along with Steve Park winning the race in the number 1 car. Fast forward 22 years later to the season finale here at Phoenix. William Byron in the 24 car gets pole. And Sean, who won the race? The number 1 car of Ross Chastain. Weird how between all that time,
just
pole and race winner.
Just
cool stat, huh?
It's so symmetrical. It all comes back around.
Yeah,
wow.
So
great.
Do you have a favorite Kevin Harvick moment?
Outside of the fight.
When he Daytona 500 win? Or the championship?
No. When he pushed, what's his name, into...
Every time. Keselowski into Jeff Gordon at Texas.
Yeah.
Everything's bigger in Texas, right, Sean?
Well, that... like, my only other favorite one... I don't want to get into it. Anyways.
Say it.
No.
Fair enough.
No. We'll revisit at some point. We'll revisit a year from now. All right, so kind of concludes. That kind of wraps NASCAR. I mean,
I don't off to the Daytona 500 now in February. So, exciting stuff.
Yeah. So get to some upcoming driver changes, stuff like that. All exciting. All right, so there we go. What are we gonna do? No NASCAR till February, or until the Clash.
Well, we'll go back to F1.
Well, we have Asian Le Mans series is starting in 3 weeks, so that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Isn't there
the Creventic 24-hour race in Dubai will be coming up. So lots of good stuff coming up outside of the world of NASCAR. All right, let's move on to
Supercars at Adelaide is coming up.
Is that the finale?
At the end of the year. It's Thanksgiving weekend. So
they're off until Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's a couple weeks off, but they because not last week, the weekend before they were at Gold Coast.
Dude, I got a dumb question. Does Supercars run at Phillip Island?
Oh, they should.
They
used to. Christian,
I think that they do.
Christian's reverting to the Ferrari. We are checking.
Hold.
Please hold. Anyways, because have you guys seen the Moto GP race at Phillip Island?
It's insane.
Woof.
Yeah.
This year was they had a great race on Saturday because they had to move the Grand Prix from Sunday to Saturday. And then they stuffed the sprint race on Sunday because the weather was going to be bad. And then the weather was so bad they bagged it, so which was great. But that track is phenomenal. Anyways, all right. So, Brazil!
Ayrton Senna to Brazil. Was it going to rain, Sean, this weekend? Did it rain?
Well, I mean, it was as I was watching the F1 TV pre-race show. I'm sorry, pre-weekend show. The weekend show. They termed Friday into Saturday as Code Orange in Brazil, which means I guess you have a chance. So, anyways, sprint race weekend. Not a fan.
I've checked on the supercars. They did not.
They did not run there.
No,
that's too bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So we had a sprint race weekend. So that means we had one practice. I can tell you my thoughts. The Red Bull guys were definitely screwing around with tires because they didn't care where they finished, which was good. So I was like, and like everyone's, oh my god, they're off the. I'm like, they're just screwing around. And then we get to the go to qualifying, and I mean, the only thing that really came out in qualifying was how bad the Mercedes were.
Shockingly enough,
I know,
because I was thinking this would be
Christian.
Do you have
our prognostication picks
from last week?
Yeah. For this past weekend, because I believe Mercedes was figuring it all. Yes.
No. Yeah.
Yes.
We definitely botched that call.
I did not have a Mercedes driver on the podium, I believe.
No, you did not.
Which is good.
But you had the Ferraris on the podium.
What did he have?
Nate had Lando winning. So second place, not bad.
Yeah. No.
And then he had Sainz and then Leclerc.
Oh, Leclerc.
And then his dark horse was Gasly.
I think he came seventh, didn't he? Or
but
he was there.
Who did you have?
I had Lewis, Lando, and P2. So that is correct.
That was correct. Yep.
And then Piastri and Ricciardo, but Piastri and Ricciardo got screwed because of
what were you think?
What
was going to happen with Max? He was just going to like.
I didn't think they were going to.
What did you think he was going to hang out with Nelson Piquet?
No, I thought it was going to be. Well, because now they're both 3-time world champions.
Yeah, something like that. Who did I have?
You had Lewis.
Yeah.
Winning, and then you had Max and Lando. So you got 2 out of 3.
I got 2 out of the 3.
Okay, Sean.
Who was my dark horse?
Fred Hulkenberg.
Oh, Hulk. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, Hulkenberg took out two guys of his competition.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, we'll talk about that move.
Nick last week. Actually was closest.
What did he have?
He had Max winning, so correct there.
There you go. Yeah.
Lewis second, not right, but he also had Lando. So
he had 2. Well, he had 2 out of 3, but he had the first place guy, so he beats me.
He had 1 correct and 1 on the podium.
Yeah, so he beats me.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'd say Nick has 1.5. You probably had.
Did anyone have Fred anywhere?
No.
Or are we just
no?
I mean,
we put him off.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Yeah.
Anyways, so qualifying. Wasn't surprised.
Well, can I tell you? I thought that when the storm was starting to come in, there was a scene where Max Verstappen was putting on a lap, and it looked like it was like super dark.
Well, that was when he went up the hill to finish the lap. Yeah.
No, it was cool. Cool.
It was cool. Shot. I thought it was cool. I thought it was.
I don't think the people in the stands thought it was.
Did anyone do a wellness check on Crofty during that point?
What do you mean?
No, wait. That's not the race. I watched the sprint race in Spanish.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Christian.
Couldn't understand a lick of it, but at least they sounded excited.
Verstappen, Alonso.
Was it in Spanish or was it Portuguese?
No, the whole thing was Spanish.
So like it was Fred.
Aside from like
Fred
some
and-
of the interviews that were done in English.
Fred and Carlo were their faves.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that there was some Portuguese spoken as well.
Yeah. I think the biggest surprise, obviously, well, two big surprises was Stroll and Fred.
Yeah.
Well, they figure something out with the car. If Stroll's that far,
Chris
far
and
up the grid,
Chris and I were talking about it, and what came up and it's been speculated was that they went when they went and got to Austin with the new setup.
Yeah.
They took some stuff off at Austin a little bit, made the car somewhat better, but then they went to Mexico. Still, the car was kind of, and they made some changes. And then after that they went back and their upgrade was really a hybrid upgrade. There was certain components that are new, but they took stuff off and kind of mucked around with it.
They basically reverted to an old spec.
Yeah, older spec with some tweaks. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept the tweaks that worked, and the other stuff they got rid of.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, good for them. I mean, at least that takes some stones to do that.
Yeah.
But it paid off.
it did. That double points.
I'm going to skip over the sprint because the sprint is just
it's useless.
It's useless because
Lando got pole and didn't win.
What?
So.
Ocon was being French.
I
gotta slip
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
What does that mean? Hey.
Nate, you would know.
Yeah.
Slippery slope, huh?
Anyways. All right. Because Max is 100% right. All that does is it foreshadows what's going to happen on the race.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just move on from there. All it proved was that the Red Bull could run the soft tires for like 26, 28 laps.
And it showed that Mercedes would fall.
Yeah.
And it showed that Aston
could hang around.
In a good position.
Could hang around.
Yeah. And that the AlphaTauris have pace.
Yeah.
Like they're I would almost say leading the second half of the field at this point.
Would you so you got McLaren up in the first half of the field?
Yeah, I would put McLaren and Aston Martin in the first half because that's
what I would do is I'd say Aston is at the bottom end of the first half. Like they're the low end.
They're fifth, yes.
Yeah, and then
I think AlphaTauri is sixth right now.
And then would you say McLaren's ahead of Ferrari or behind Ferrari?
Put behind.
I would say ahead.
So you're third.
Solely because I think they've outpaced points.
Now
they are second. They are second best scoring in points since the summer break.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing with McLaren right now is they can't get the double points finish.
Well, they have been, but doing it consistently.
Yeah.
They would have done it this weekend, but they got screwed with the red flag.
Right. So anyways, so let's move to the race. I'm still trying to figure out what the fascination was that they, again, it's probably the British bias. Like, oh my God, Lando's going to get to the first corner. I'm like,
he's on the dirty side of the track.
Granted,
you know what was a really great way to watch this race was you put it on and then you just have no sound.
That would, yeah. That was good.
Or you just throw
this is going to be a rant for the end of the season.
Just throw some classical music.
But the other thing is, it's an odd start because you're starting uphill.
Yes.
So, I think Max
and the pole guy isn't starting. No,
he's starting on the clean side of the track. He's on the right side. He's not on the inside line.
Yes.
And actually, to tell you the truth, that's the racing line into the corner. So
yes,
it's fine. I'm just sitting there. It's like, this is the one-star Max. But he anyways, he blitzed it. Boom. See you later. And then for some reason, Albon, I have no idea what he was doing. Zero. Mm-hmm. I mean, what are you doing?
There's a car there.
There were two cars there.
Right.
Wait,
where's Hulkenberg going to go?
You're not going to win to the first corner. Like they clearly had an issue in qualifying, but the thing is, it's like you got a strong car. And case in point, I know cars got wiped out, but Sargent proved that the car was somewhat strong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, had you stayed in the race, you would have got points.
Yeah, he definitely would have.
You know? So, I again, it's just, it baffles me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then, you know, he pretty much wrecked Ricciardo's race because the friggin' debris went flying and nailed his car.
The rear wing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wrecked Piastri's
Right.
race too.
So then, you know, we go through and we have to go another red flag procedure, blah, blah, blah. Poof. And then, but we forgot about what happened on the formation.
Oh yeah, but there was a Charles Leclerc of sorts. That, you can't make this crap up.
No,
I mean,
it's
his
Ferrari.
look is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, it's the scene from Rush.
It's terrible. Drives like a pig.
Oh, you can't say that.
Why not?
It's a Ferrari.
It's a shitbox.
I thought, so I mean, like hydraulics, and all this. The next thing you know, the car's snapping into the guardrail or into the Tech Pro, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we got, you know, he parks the car, and then we have the adventures of Charles trying to get back to the pits.
Yeah.
That was kind of entertaining because he was climbing all over stuff and couldn't figure his way out of that. It was kind of like, who was the one that last year who got stuck out in the middle of the track? Was it K-Mag?
Yeah, Ricardo and K-Mag.
Yeah.
K-Mag, and
Ricardo
K-Mag
got into
couldn't, like, he was stuck on the island there.
Yeah.
And then,
the whole race.
Yeah, that's nice.
oh, my God. Anyways. So, you know, we had an open shot, you know, for Lando to, you know, whatever. But it just, whatever. I don't, you know, it's like Max is right on it right now.
Yeah, it's hard to beat him in Red Bull at the moment.
Yeah, he's just dialed in.
Yeah.
I have no problem because I enjoy watching the race, you know, and I kind of, you know. But
I mean, it was a good race. There was just...
Oh, well, once they, like, as long as when they went back to the midfield, it was actually pretty good. Well, into the pack, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I thought this track was fine.
Oh, it's always a good race.
My only gripe is the second DRS zone.
Oh, yeah. This is
I don't-
it's that
I don't-
quirky
I know what
double
you're talking
DRS.
about.
I mean, okay, I will say this.
Do you think they could
I like how, because there's one, I think there's one track that it's weird where, like, whoever is behind going on the main straight,
Yeah.
if you get the pass done,
Yeah, you still have it on the other side.
Yeah, you get it on the other side, but at least here it flips.
Yeah.
So if you are the car behind, that you get a shot to come back at him.
It's just weird because the DRS zones are back to back.
Yeah,
My thing is, why can't, and I'm still not 100% certain that that's the best idea, but why isn't it just when you come out of, you go down, you know, you come up, this is like, you know, and then they get onto that corner that the last left, and they start up the hill.
They go up the hill.
So just put the DRS on there, all the way.
No, you can't.
Why?
It's too big of an
Advantage?
no, it's a safety thing.
Oh,
it's
all right.
too big of a balance shift
Okay.
in the arrow.
All right, got it. All right.
Because like imagine taking Eau Rouge with the DRS flap open. You throw
What's
it
the matter
right,
with that?
throw it right in the barrier. So it's not the best.
You don't want to see the car twitch?
That's why it's at Spa after they go up Eau Rouge and Rayon, they there's that little right-hander kink, and then it starts.
Yeah.
So that's you don't want to really be taking that turn.
Fair point. The interesting part in the first part of the race was the caterwauling from Georgie from the snitch.
Yeah.
You know, he ended up retiring the car because he was so far behind on the points.
We'll get to that in a second. Like, did he not realize who was faster than him all weekend?
Who, Lance Stroll?
No. his teammate was faster than him all weekend.
I mean, like, there are times where George seems to have the pace over Lewis during the race, but then the race kind of unfolds, and I don't know whether it's Mercedes are trying to get him.
Let's just
strategy.
No.
But
let's just get on the route. He's number 2.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so he needs to understand he's staying as number 2 until Lewis leaves. Okay, all right. So shut the trap and just drive the race. Okay, all right. And if Lewis can't get there, you know what? I'll be blatantly honest. Lewis, at some point, if he really was holding him up, he'd just let him go. He would say it. Okay, yeah. I think people kind of don't take Lewis that way. I mean, there's a pride thing, obviously, but at a certain point, he's just gonna be like, go. But the car was so bad for both of them.
Yeah, it did.
The snitch is just, he's trying to run the race, and it's like, I'm like, just shut up. Shut up. No one wants to hear you. No one wants to hear you. Toto doesn't want to hear you.
That's saying something.
I don't think half the pit wall
wants to hear him.
I don't think half of his own garage wants to hear him.
So, Nate, I was talking to Christian before the potting. I said, and I kind of thought about this, and it was kind of odd that all of a sudden, like, the car retires.
Right.
And they're like, Lewis, retire the car.
George.
Oh, George, sorry. And I was like, that's weird. But then Lewis didn't have any problem. So usually sometimes they get, and they didn't say anything to Lewis. I have a feeling there was so much crap going on the radio, they didn't want to listen to it, and they just said, we got to shut him up and just get him out. Because they weren't going to, they knew he was going to get overhauled for the points, and it wasn't going to matter.
Well, because he didn't come in until he was like 12.
Right. So at that point, he's out of the points.
You're out anyways.
Right. But the rest of the race, he could have been on the radio just, doing his thing. And it's like at some point they're just like, enough. Like just with him. It's just everything with him is just so friggin' phony. It's ridiculous. Can't take him. Anyways, that's enough of that.
I hear you there.
And so then we move as what?
Well, think about this. Kind of revisiting Lance Stroll. This dude finished 5th and overtook both Mercedes cars.
I know.
Well, I think
what universe are we living in?
I think Aston has
reverted himself back. They using a Mercedes motor too?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the McLaren.
Along with McLaren.
Mercedes is now 3 out of 4 in the Mercedes engine.
Right.
Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Mercedes is second in the championship standings.
Third, but second in the engines.
This weekend.
They got to be leading the engine championship. No?
Yeah, there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways.
But this weekend, they were the 3rd quickest Mercedes engine team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they're
no.
Season performance, they are still second in the standings.
Right. Out of the 4 teams, they were 3rd.
Yes.
And honestly, if Albon just hadn't
didn't
kept his head into it all weekend, that's pretty funny. Yeah. Anyways, next up, now we get towards the end of the race. Lando and Max out in front. We got Lando, and both of them are just kind of holding station. But we get thrilled with the battle for 3rd and 4th.
Yes.
It was super close. I mean, I'm surprised Sergio Perez was even up there given the races as of late. Because now it's like he could get back on the podium and score serious points against Lewis Hamilton. Right. And so it's a really big situation for him.
Right. And but the other point is like once he's past Lewis, does he, the thought process is, does he just take the points? Right.
I think he could fight for more.
No, right. So he took they said, well, we think we can get to Alonso. Which was right.
And sure enough, he did.
He did, but the battle between the two of them was phenomenal.
It was epic.
It was great.
certainly
It was a
epic
great battle.
because, well, you couldn't tell who was going to win because you would get the DRS, and I mean the battle going into I guess you could call it turn 3, that left-hander where it has all that.
Well, the other
runoff.
the other one was the final turn. I think it's turn 12 before they go up the hill.
Right.
Fred would take a different line through there every time. And
He was like in the middle of the road. It was
sometimes he was in the middle of the road. Sometimes it was great because I think he was kind of throwing Checo off there. Like sometimes he'd run the same line for like 2 laps and then he'd run a different line. And it was good stuff, And his Checo was having to do certain things to fight back, and then sometimes he lost like enough of the DRS advantage that he couldn't get him, and then finally he got him. And I mean, to think that he made the pass, and then Fred got him the next lap with a pass that was like insane.
They were super close to making wheel-to-wheel contact.
But there wasn't any stupid moves.
No. They were just pushing the envelope. That's all.
Right.
But think about this too. Fred going out of the final corner was almost making the straightaway that much longer.
Yeah.
So does that tell you that the Aston Martin's a straightaway car?
Well, I think he was just trying to keep the speed up. I think that's what he was trying to do.
No, I think Fred was playing it very smart in understanding the strength of his car.
Yeah. Because
he was doing enough to just hold a gap that he needed to at the end of the for when he got onto the long straightaway. And then I'm pretty sure he was probably backing Perez up even through 1 and 2 if Perez was close enough to him to then get a launch down that second straightaway.
Right.
It's all tactics and gamesmanship. I think that's the thing. Over the last 3 years, especially, Fernando is probably one of the only drivers that I've really seen throw tricks at other guys and actually make it stick.
Gotcha.
Like just being a little bit slower through the corners to back up the guy behind you to throw him off so they can't get the run up, or fading at the right time so he really does make the car much wider than it actually is. I think I think Max can do it well too, but we also haven't really seen Max go side by side with a lot of guys in the last 2 years. I mean, when he was battling Lewis in 21, there was a lot of desperation, I think, in those moves. But I mean, when you have a good battle like Alonso did with Perez this weekend, you see that side, and that's what I really like. I really enjoy with racing is seeing that kind of stuff, because it's nothing dirty. It's all good. Everyone's decisive about where they're going and what they're doing, and at the end of it, you get exactly the reaction that both of those drivers had to each other. Where they got out of the car, they were both incredibly happy to be able to battle with one another, come off hugging, laughing, and just enjoying it for what it is. Like that's what I really enjoy seeing.
Right, and I think one more driver you could add to that list was is Carlos Sainz, because you saw how he got the victory at Singapore. He plays his great mental game up. He kept Lando Norris in the DRS, so that way not only Lando could be in the DRS, but also it keeps that distance between them. Nothing crazy, but not enough to have Lando attack.
Right,
because that was his only real buffer to guarantee victory from a car that didn't have the newer tires like the two Mercedes did. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking clear victory for Mercedes. It's going to be a clear 1-2 coming to the end. And, I mean, the mental game sometimes really comes into play and helps out.
Yeah, no, Nate, you're absolutely right. That's another perfect example of just seeing a driver that's where his talent exceeds the car's capability and can understand the situation of what they need to do in order to win.
Right. 100%.
So,
And you know it's getting wild too? That fight for second spot. I know I said it earlier, but I'll tell you, 2 races left. Lewis Hamilton needs to pull a rabbit out of the hat, because I'll tell you, I don't think he's going to get points, or at least a lot of points in this next race, because this is all straightaway.
I mean, I think Vegas is probably the race that he's going to have to do something, because last time I checked, Yas Marina is a Red Bull favorite track, even during those final years where Mercedes was the dominant team. Red Bull always came in and somehow snatched away the victory at Yas Marina.
Right.
So I think this past weekend kind of put it a little out of reach, especially if that's the way Mercedes is going to handle these last couple of races. But I guess we'll have to see how Vegas turns out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wild card. You don't know who's really going to come out on top. I mean, all roads kind of point to Max Verstappen.
Yeah,
But who knows?
I mean, I can easily see. I shouldn't say easily, but if Ferrari puts a weekend together, I wouldn't be shocked if they're a team that can come out fighting at Vegas.
Yeah, because the track's similar. We think the track's similar to Baku.
Yeah, but I'm more so banking on the fact that it's a fresh repave. Mm-hmm. It's probably going to be pretty single file and more so along the lines of what Qatar was.
It won't be, the tire deg's not going to be there.
The tire deg won't be there, but being offline will not be optimal.
Right.
And Ferrari has been the one lap speed car. So I mean, it could turn into a Monaco style race.
I don't think so. That's straightaway.
No. There's a lot of straightaway. It's not just a main straight.
Correct, but I'm placing a bet that the grip offline is going to be so bad that it's going to be hard to make a move.
There isn't going to be any grip. There's nothing going to be out there. There's just nothing that the tires aren't going to wear because the track temperature is going to be so cool.
It's not wearing. It's.
I know, but you're not going to have
the track won't have.
But you're not going to have a situation like at Baku when if you look offline, there's just marbles everywhere. This isn't going to happen there. They're running at.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, it doesn't matter because
it's another factor.
Yeah, but at night, they're running this whole thing at night.
Yes, but
it's gonna be like 60s.
Everyone's gonna be on the racing line, and the only line that it's gonna get any grip put into it is the racing line. So there's not gonna be nothing. Well, it doesn't matter.
But when you go down the front straightaway, they're gonna have DRS going down the front straightaway. They don't have. There's not enough room at Monaco for DRS anyway, so I'm equating this to Baku. This is going to be exactly what Baku is because you look at the ginormous straightaway, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. But another thing too, I'm looking at the point standings. Between 4th, 5th, and 6th, there's only 6 points separating Fernando, Lando, and Carlos.
Wow.
That fight for 4th is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Getting into these next 2 races.
Can I ask a question? Can anyone get to Lewis and Checo or no?
Not Checo. Lewis is the only real possibility.
So if he has two bad races, now he's had.
Well,
anyways.
Lewis is going to have to get 32 points just to tie Sergio right now. So he needs the 2 races to have.
I don't. He needs
a decent comeback.
He needs Checo to fall out of both races, right?
Right. And
I don't think that's going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
I don't think so.
Right.
But I'll tell you, it's 28 points from Fernando to Lewis.
Again, you're going to need a Mercedes
DNF.
Flop.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's a bit.
You
need Fred to win and Lewis to drop out.
You need 2 more Brazil weekends.
It's just not. I don't see that happening.
I swear to God, if Fred pulls it off at Las Vegas.
No, it'd be hilarious. But
like a win?
It'd be awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
it'd be like Kimi winning at Coda.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
So.
Same energy.
Alrighty. All right, that's enough for Formula 1. Yeah. So we got a break.
Yep.
We had the triple. So now we got a break. Everyone's off to Vegas. Be there a week from Sunday, right? Saturday.
Woo-hoo! Well, Sunday if you're
Yep.
that far ahead
Oh, God.
in the time. Actually, no, it
No,
will be. It will
it's
be
going to be Sunday
for us.
morning
Yeah,
for
yeah, it
us.
will be
Yep.
us, yeah.
Yep. So everyone get ready. Take a nap. Watch the race. All right. Let's move on to WEC, the season finale, the 8 hours of Bahrain. This was the title clinching race for a lot of teams, except for GTE.
That one was wrapped up a couple rounds ago.
Huh?
That one was
Which
wrapped up
clinched
a couple rounds ago.
I think they clinched it at Le Mans.
I think
Anyways.
halfway.
Congrats to Corvette Racing.
Oops.
Anyways. The race itself was an interesting race. It was Toyota Ferrari really are kind of establishing themselves, I think, as the two elite teams.
Yes.
Porsche did a better job this week. When I talk Porsche, Penske, Porsche, the factory team. However, the team that was probably most consistent was the Jota team. So, and they were rewarded with a 4th place finish. The two Ferraris decided that they were going to mix it up with each other towards the end of the race, which was entertaining.
Yeah.
But the Toyota team really kind of all weekend long were just dominant. Hats off to them. I have no problem. Look, they much like Audi, much like Porsche, they've been there through the hard times and the lean times and the good times. So I don't really want to hear anything. Well, they've been doing this forever. Well, you know what? They did it, and they stuck by the WEC, and hats off to them. The end of the thing, Buemi, Hartley, and Hirakawa took the win, second of the season. However, gave them the championship over the teammates.
I'm sorry, it didn't give him.
It did.
It did.
It did.
Yeah, a win sealed it.
Well, it was the second win. They only had 2 wins.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So congrats to them. And again, congrats to Toyota for clinching the hypercar. What do you want to call it? What is it called?
The Hypercar.
The
Hypercar?
Hypercar class.
Hypercar. So that's a
what it
mixture
is.
of LMDH and hypercar.
They're all hypercars in this.
There's no difference.
No.
Okay.
There's a difference between. There is a difference between GTP and hypercar, but for this
So there's a
round,
difference between the Porsche that runs here and the Porsche that runs there.
in terms of an electrical package, yes.
Oh, okay.
They
But
have
when the Porsche goes over there from here, it gets the same electrical package, right? The Porsche in IMSA,
yes.
when it goes over to WEC
Yes.
to run at Le Mans,
Yes.
it gets the same package that the Porsche in WEC gets, right?
Yes. You just have to do a. It's basically more sensors that are being monitored. That's what they're. Because if you watch the WEC broadcast, you can see the amount of power or virtual energy that they have, and the amount of energy that they've used up already.
Yep.
Because of these added sensors on the car, but that's because it's a different way that the series is monitoring the power output or energy output from all the cars, because all the cars in hypercar are built from the manufacturer that runs them, versus where in IMSA with GTP they're built by the manufacturer, but they're like assembled by different components. Like you can pick whatever chassis you want to run. You can pick which engine you want to run, kind of thing. Like that's how it is. So then there's small differences, but all these cars can run together in the end.
All right. And LMP2, there's a theme here. The championship car won the race.
Fantastic.
And even more crazy, they started 10th on the grid in LMP2. So congrats to the WRT. Orica of Rui Andrade, Robert Kubica,
Actually, that's a good way to send that team off too.
and
Because
Louis
they'll be-
Delatraz as they take over the BMW hypercar effort. So that'll be entertaining. That was
great
pretty
send-off.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And then in GTE, the Swan Song for GTLM. Congrats to the Iron Dames. They took the win.
Yes.
Yes,
So
all woman
Well done.
lineup. So that's pretty cool.
hence Iron Dames.
Yeah. Actually, that's another
This-
good send off for
What's-
them too.
what's dames
because
in
they're
French,
going
Nate?
to-
Lady. So just had
Good
to
boy.
make sure, just making sure everyone knows what that is. So
That's also
oh,
another good send off for them because they'll
Yeah.
be
Because that team
taking
is
over the
taking over the Lamborghini effort.
Yep.
So
Yep.
congrats to everybody there. That's just super cool.
Yep.
They've been in they've been in the fight all year and have had probably the most horrendous luck at
Yeah.
times.
Yep.
So congrats to them. Congrats to them. And congrats to Pratt Miller on the end of the factory run, as they say. They will be back as a factory team in IMSA. They'll be back at Le Mans with one of the factory cars, I'm sure, from IMSA. So
The
GTD Pro, they're running a factory team.
GT. Sorry.
They're running 2 factory cars.
I forget the Pro still exists.
Yeah, I'm hoping that because now they're running 2 cars back in IMSA, the big blimp will come back.
That was a good setup that they
I like that. So, but nice way to send them out.
No, but they can't run at Le Mans, can they?
Yeah, you get the invite. They're gonna get the invite.
You got to throw Am Driver in there. Which
No, do they?
yeah,
Oh,
it's LMGT3,
Correct.
not GTD Pro.
maybe Ben will come over and run.
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyways.
that's what I was thinking.
Wait,
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, let me check it.
Friggin' sucks. Anyways, moving on. All right. So that wrapped up the WEC season. Good there. Big news. I know not a lot of people here are fans of sprint car, but the boys from High Limits, Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson,
Sir,
purchased Tony Stewart's sprint car series and now have made an epic run to become a national sprint car series. And it's pretty impressive. And I did read an interesting piece today from on his social media today. It does create a quandary for some drivers, especially Rico Abreu. So the High Limit stuff was basically a midweek series. So it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday night series. And, it afforded Rico the opportunity to run the World of Outlaws on the weekend. But now with this going to a national series, it's going to be more races. So he's got a real, I shouldn't say dilemma, but he's got to really make a decision as to where he wants to run. And he finished second in both series. So that's a tough one for Rico. And he's kind of reaching out to his fan base, which I thought was pretty cool as to where they think he should run. So hopefully somebody like Rico, I hope, there's somebody that could use the funding to run 2 cars so that he could easily, shift between series because he's a beast out there. The one thing that's going to happen with the High Limit series is Larson is going to kind of throttle back and take more of the role that Brad Sweet took this year, not running every race, whereas Sweet's going to run every race. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully everybody will be able to kind of fit, opportunities to get into the World of Outlaws and get to Knoxville and stuff like that. So it'll be fun. So I thought that was pretty cool. Also, IndyCar. Welcome to Team Juncos, Romain Grosjean.
that's right. And Austin Canapino does sign for next year as well.
That's right.
So
So
he does continue his ride
So
or
that-
journey with Yonkos Racing as
So
well.
that kind of leaves what? Coyne and Foyt.
Yeah.
Up in the air questions of who
Right.
has what
So
ride. Right.
where is Ilott going to end up?
Andretti.
If they're
Because
going to
no
run
one's filled that 28 car.
right, if they're going to run a 4th car, I could see that.
I heard rumors of Peretta maybe running a 4th car with Andretti.
Yeah, but that was for the 500 only.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, she
okay.
can't.
All right, never mind.
She's trying. I know she wants to run a whole season.
Yeah.
But
must have missed
She
that.
gets shut down everywhere. It's unreal. Even when she was with Penske, you know?
Just going back to the Corvette, TF Sport is running
Yes.
in WC. So whether the GTD Pro car in IMSA gets an invite, I'm not sure, but there will be Corvettes.
Yeah, there'll be Corvettes.
Le
Yeah.
So
But I think IMSA is going to be, if you're going to look for GTD or GT racing, I think IMSA is going to be where it's at.
yeah,
Because you're going to have the mix of the Pro and the Pro-Am.
I gotta look up and see what this LMGT3 category is for WEC, because I haven't seen anything mentioned on whether it's a Pro-Am class or if it's
Right.
Pro
So
class.
what did come out today was if you're not affiliated, now I have no idea how Ford got in. Well, I do. Ford's in. Mercedes is out. There's no Mercs allowed in that series. So if you're Mercedes, you're like, we're going to load up in IMSA.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why I'm saying I think IMSA is going to look a lot stronger overall. It's going to get to the point, I can honestly see this with IMSA, where they're going to run their GTP cars and their LMP2 cars in one race on a weekend, and they're going to run GT on it.
Yeah.
They could,
It'll
which is
be
back
back
to
to what
that's
it was,
back to the 90s and 80s and 90s, which honestly, on the shorter tracks, it's fantastic because you got two races going on. It's awesome. On the, which, maybe it could lead them back to Lime Rock with a GT race, which would be great.
Yep.
So, anyways, just throwing that out there, speculation wise. I think at some point that might happen because they are oversubscribed right now for all classes. So I think they're the place to be if you want to run GT. I also think it puts SRO in a stronger place because you're gonna get teams to go there.
Yeah.
So, but that's good. So the question is, does ILOT go to?
All that to get back to this.
I know, it's kind of.
Yeah, right.
Because ILOT, I mean, where does ILOT end up? I mean, yeah, I'd like to see him at Andretti, but it's like
Maybe Foyt.
coin a Foyt.
I would say Foyt because if he has a chance going to Penske.
That's where I'm going to go with that too, Nate. I think you're right.
Yeah, because I mean that's a prerequisite of going to Penske.
Has DiFrancesco said where he's going?
You think he has a ride? No way.
Well, he's got money. That's the problem.
Okay, but
Which would put him at
his
coin.
Time in Indy, sure.
Where
But
do the Fittipaldi brothers end up?
Well, one's at
No.
Rahal.
Oh, that's right.
That's already figured out.
Yeah.
That's already done. But I think Enzo
No.
the coin ride.
No. He said Fittipaldi brothers. Because there's speculation that Enzo's coming.
Yeah.
That's what I just said. Enzo. It will be over at the coin ride because they just tested at Sebring. And Enzo had a coin test.
Okay.
Correct. One is getting,
Pietro's at Rahal.
yes. But
Right.
whereas
And the third
Enzo is
he doesn't have a ride.
He doesn't have a
confirmed.
ride yet, but
He had
there's
a
speculation
test,
that he's going to
but
be here.
But he hasn't had a ride.
Right. I have to think that ILOT's going to Foyt because I think Penske's curious.
Yeah.
Because is Will done next year? Is like that it for him for his contract?
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I think what the bigger thing is how do you replace Benjamin Peterson? Because he put on a terrible year.
How do you replace Santino Ferrucci?
You can't. If anything, did you see his qualifying effort
all right.
at Indy?
Can I ask a question? Is it not conceivable that ILOT and Fittipaldi end up at Foyt?
I see that.
You could.
I think
but I mean,
Fittipaldi will be more a coin, though.
But you can argue that.
Look, he's both brothers are bringing money.
They are.
All right.
Yes,
And
yeah.
they have, like, people are like,
Last name.
they got, well, yeah, but that just taps you into Brazil in terms of the
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
I mean, it's like, Emerson just walks in and it's like a cash register, I mean, the guy is like, he's a god down there. So I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm just curious that I think Ilott goes there because I think Penske's sniffing around on him.
Possibly. I agree with you
give
there.
it some time. We'll find out in a couple of weeks, months,
Yeah.
whatever.
No, I was just curious. That's all.
Well, because that opens the floodgates for Dale Coyne because David Malukas isn't there anymore. Because now he's going to McLaren.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that was a good move.
Yeah, we'll see.
What do you mean? If you're David Malukas, where would you
it's
go
fine.
besides McLaren?
I get it.
He probably didn't even have another
No.
offer.
No, I'm just saying I'm not 100% sold that McLaren's a good team.
Yeah.
Alexander Rossi's there. I mean,
No,
you see what he produced.
No.
Nate,
I'm
Nate,
hang on.
Nate, you're
What,
you're
Sean?
like you're just going
What?
you're like going driver. But
No,
it's
but I'm
like
not done yet.
what did they do all year? They didn't do anything.
They didn't win. Their best chance. Okay, Alexander Rossi's best chance to win was maybe Indy or the
But they
Detroit
didn't
race.
win.
But they no kidding. I'm saying look at the drivers that are there and look what the results happen. It's not that great of a team.
That's what you
I
said.
wasn't done.
Yeah, you didn't. You didn't. Let him
I
finish
didn't let him
his point.
finish.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that they're not. I just don't think they're that good of a team. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm just like Malukas would have been better off. Like honestly, he probably would have been. No, he would have been better off at Foyt. I guarantee you. The kid's talented. I just think he's going to get lost in it at McLaren.
Yeah.
I mean, I
hear you.
have to wonder about McLaren because if Craig Hampson left, and there's been a few other people that left, I'm like, what's going on over there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
I'm
was
also
disappointed to see
Because
Hampson
what's
leave.
his name? Mike Hull's
I don't know.
his son-in-law, his stepson, who was over there.
Isn't he
Okay.
Pato's strategist?
No, he was, but
Oh,
he
okay.
went over. He's now at Ganassi. Tyler, what's his name? Anyways, so
But think about this. What if David Malukas is in a McLaren and goes back to Gateway? Does he win? I almost say, I mean, it's almost a guaranteed podium, but I mean, a win is probably within reach,
right.
just because that's his best track.
Right.
And he brought a coin car on the finished second twice, or on the podium twice.
True. All right.
Possibly could be his first win year.
All right. Well, TBD.
Something to think about.
To be
Think about.
continued. TBC. All right, and then the other big news today. Whoop whoop. WT Andretti.
Yes.
This one I didn't see coming. Well, Hartley I was fine with. I just now it makes sense though. The tie up to Andretti. I just didn't think it was coming because he had been tied up with being at BMW. But Colton Herter
Yeah.
joining for at least Daytona.
No, the
Well,
Michelin,
the endurance race.
The endurance
Cups,
races.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is Colton's driving with JT.
And Louis Delatrez.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Louis driving with both Colton and JT. Because somebody made Louis look bad at Daytona. LMP2, who put the pass on to win the race?
Oh, was it Colton?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then he's like, that was an illegal pass. No, you got taken. So anyways. Anything else?
I got nothing.
I'm out of notes.
All right.
News and notes.
Okay. Nate?
Good night.
Thank you guys for listening to the Red Mist Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Wart and Harrison Tate.